Hi friends, welcome to Ahiluarts channel. This is Uma. This video we are going to see a very simple beginner pattern. Okay, you can make this. You can make dishcloths, shawls, scarves, blankets with this pattern. I would recommend if you make a blanket with this, it will be very good, and you can have a couch throw for this. Previously we have seen the shell tutorial. I will share the link in the description. This is exactly that. The only difference is for shell we'll be working on each one burrow in the other shell, so it will be eating much of the yarn. So it will be shell stitch blanket is a yarn eater blanket. Okay, everybody can agree with that. But this one is actually, the pattern will look like shell, but we won't fill in each shell, so it will be like each and every shell is different and in a separate row, so it won't be eating that much yarn like shell blanket, but it actually looks like a shell blanket. Okay, so we are going to see that beautiful pattern. We are going to use only the double crochet and single crochet, that's it. So anyone who can just started crocheting now can do this. And if you are doing this as a scarf, I would recommend you do it as a 7-inch length. And if you are doing for a blanket, either for scarf and dishcloth, you do 7-inch length. And if you are doing for a blanket, I would recommend you can do it as big as you want. Okay, the formula for this stitch is multiples of 5 plus 1. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 plus 1 stitches I need. So in order to have 21 stitches, I will be having 22 chain, because we will be skipping the first chain always, right? So the total number of chain is 22, because I want to have a multiples of 5 plus 1 stitches. Okay, so now turn your work. We all know that we always work in the back bump of the crochet of the chain, not in the front or back loop, in order to have a perfect finishing on both the ends. Okay, so turn your work, skip the first chain, insert into the second chain and do a single crochet. So continue single crochet in all the stitches. If you would have noticed, I have done the chain not so tight and not so loose, so it's in the perfect guard, so it will be easy for me to insert my hook into the back bump of the foundation chain without any issue. Okay, so any project you are making, even though the pattern doesn't say have a single crochet row, I always prefer we have a single crochet row, irrespective of if we are making a border at the end of the project or not, because this will give a great foundation to work on, so that we won't be working in a crooked or misplaced foundation chain. Okay, so according to me, single crochet is the perfect foundation. Okay, so I have done the single crochet row, which is multiples of 5 plus 1. Okay, so now you see how the finishing sits in the bottom of the chain, so that we have the V's on both the ends. Okay, now chain 3, this will be our border double crochet. We have one border in each side. Okay, now skip the 2 stitches. Okay, skip 2 stitch and do in the third stitch, technically the fourth stitch. You see, this chain 3 will be for this single crochet. Okay, so don't forget don't count this as a skipping stitch. Okay, this actually have a chain 3 for stitch for this. So count from the second stitch and count 1 2, skip the second and third stitch, and from the fourth stitch, in the fourth stitch do 5 double crochet, which is technically a shell. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5. So if you see here, we have one chain 3 for the first stitch, and we have skipped 2 stitches, and in the fourth stitch we have done 5 double crochet. So in order to maintain the count, what we are going to do, see 1 2 3 4 5. So we have 5 stitches in here in order to have these 5 stitches. So skip the next 2 stitches. Now the first shell, for the first shell we are covering 5 stitches, so we have to cover the same 5 stitches for the next stitch also, next shell also, right? So now what we are going to do, skip 4 stitches, 1 2 3 4, 2 stitches for this shell, 2 stitches for the following shell. So now skip the 4th stitch, and in the 5th stitch do 5 more double crochet, which is nothing but a shell. You see, now the first one is the beginning of the shell, so there is nothing to skip in the beginning, so that is why we have skipped only 2 stitches. Now here we have a shell at the beginning and shell at the end, so we are skipping 4 stitches. Okay, let me close the blind so that it will be not so glary. Okay, so if you see here, and again skip 1 2 3 4 stitches, and in the 5th stitch do 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4, and in the 5th stitch a shell. Now again 1 2 3 4, in the 5th stitch do a shell. Okay, now in the last stitch, like how we have a border stitch here, in the last stitch do a double crochet. So this is exactly like this shell stitch what we have done in for the shell blanket. Normally we have a shell row like this, but the next row is what makes the difference. Chain 1, turn your work, single crochet in the first double crochet. Okay, single crochet in this stitch, and then 1 2 3 4 5 chains, and do a single crochet in the middle of 2 shells. There is no chain or anything, we just single crochet in the post between these 2 shells. Then again 1 2 3 4 5. Now do a single crochet in the post. 1 2 3 4 5. Do a single crochet in the post. 1 2 3 4 5. Do a single crochet in the top chain of chain 3, because the first single crochet is on the double crochet, right? So like that, when you do a single crochet in the chain 3 or any stitch in the chain 3, always take both the loops, then only we won't be having any gaps, unwanted gaps. You see, now we have 4 shells because we have 20 stitches, right? So 4 shells and 4 chain 5 spaces with the 2 border stitches, because we have done 22 chains, right? So now again 1 2 3, we are going to repeat the same stitch, same row, the first second row now. So chain 3, turn your work. Now in the chain 5, like how we have skipped the first 2 stitches and use the third stitch in the bottom, same way skip this first 2 chain and do a 5 double crochet, which is a shell in the third chain. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and then skip these 2 chains and these 2 chains, and in the middle chain of the next chain 5 do 5 double crochet. Again use both the loops of the chain so that the 5 stitches will be holding without any extra gap. Okay, so this way if you do the shells, two things we can notice. One is unlike shell blanket, this will be having the shells only on the right side, because the second row we are doing the chain row, right? So all the shells will be on the right side. It won't be right and wrong continuously. Okay, and the second thing, we are not wasting second row, any yarn in the second row. It's just a chain row, so even though the blanket grows, it won't take so much of yarn. So again, third shell in the third chain 5. Now skip these 2 chains and these 2 chains and do a shell in the middle chain of last chain 5 space. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5, and as usual, like we have started, do a single crochet in the first single crochet, do a double crochet in the first single crochet. We see how it is. You see, so it looks like a flower pot hanging in the wall, right? So now we are going to repeat the same 2 rows, chain row, shell row, chain row, shell row, all the time according to the size you want and according to the length and width you want. Okay, if you are making a scarf, I would recommend you do the same size till 70 or 60 inches minimum. Okay, that will give you a reasonable size of scarf. And again, if you are making a blanket, if you are making a baby blanket, this would be a good pattern, but I won't say it is a best winter blanket because it has too much of space, right? So but if you are having a spring blanket or fall blanket, just to make sure the baby is not suffocated anymore and enjoy the cool breeze, this will be a best pattern. So now we are going to do the chain row. So chain 1, turn your work, single crochet, 1 2 3 4 5, 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 single crochet in the top chain of chain 3 with both loops. See, we do the chain row in the wrong side of the shell, so the shell will always be on the right side. Now 1 2 3, that will be our first double crochet, 5 stitches in the chain 3 of chain 5. 1 2 3 4 5. You see how it actually sitting on its own place, like the bases, and the color you choose is actually going to enhance the view of look and feel of this blanket. Okay, if you're going for a full flower pattern, you're just going to choose all the pink, purple and all those shades of pinks for a flowery blanket, or you can do a rainbow blanket with all the 7 colors, and it will be accenting the pattern. Okay, so we'll complete this row on camera and then finish off. So 5, and then skip all the 2 and 2, and in the middle stitch of the previous, sorry, of the chain 5, do 5 double crochet. Okay, this is the simplest pattern. You can make something for yourself, and you're going to enjoy that, because there is nothing we can do wrong in this pattern. Okay, there is no counting of stitching and stitch mark uses of stitch marker, or thinking of anything to make sure we are we are actually using the stitches in the correct stitches. Nothing like that. We are just going to do the single chain row and then shell row. That's it, right? The one of the tricks is the chain. When you do the chain, make sure you do it with the perfect gauge, so that it won't be so tight to do the 5 stitches. At the same time, it won't be having too much of space, because we are doing a 5 chain, right? So that is the only thing we have to notice. You see how this pattern is coming along with this border row and this border, so that this you can use this double crochet to do a single crochet border just like this end, so that the blanket will be perfect at the end. Okay, I hope you like this pattern. This is a simple pattern. You can make any project you want to do. If you like this project, please like this video, share it with your friends, comment your suggestions and the criticisms in the comment section. Please subscribe to the channel, and follow us in the Instagram, and you can share any of your pictures, what you are following our pattern in Instagram at Ahiluarts, or you can share it to our Facebook group, All About Crochet at Ahiluarts. I sincerely thank each and every one of you who supports us in and help us keep our channel alive, and do continue, and please share, please help us grow and inspire everyone to crochet. Thank you so much. Bye. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Never miss any video. Bye bye.